Alright guys, on the way back for the second gym session of the day. Feeling it today, to be fair. Absolutely pouring out of me, sweat. But I just want to talk about some of the stuff that you see on TikTok. I just want to sort of stress for a lot of the stuff that goes out there, especially when people are talking about themselves, how great they are, how wonderful they are, blah blah blah. Nobody cares. The reality is, if you happen to stick it on TikTok to tell people, then you probably missed the point. Because if people care, you already know. If you have to tell people how wonderful you are, you're probably not. Or you're very dense intelligently. You don't need appraisal from anybody. The only person you need to be happy with is yourself. If you can manage that, life's not that bad. I mean, even with all the stuff that's going on in the world at the moment, was in utter chaos, because a lot of the people out there, they're shouting and stomping about whatever it is, because a lot of it's not even logical. They don't matter. The reality is, don't copy them, don't engage with them, don't get involved with their crap. All that happens is you're becoming part of them because you're noticing them. Like trolls need to be noticed. If nobody's noticing them, they hate it, because it's all craving a reaction and wanting to be seen, or positive reinforcement, or trying to be something they're not. And you'd have to be something you're not, because if you're content on who you are, you don't need to promote it. Not unless you're selling something, you know, like if you're a mechanic and say, hey, I fix cars, that'd be a good thing for a mechanic. But if you're actually trying to tell people you've got a good personality, you probably haven't, because you haven't to tell them. I mean, there's a guy, I can't remember the guy's name now, Duncan or Dougal or something, it's a D, but he used to sell products, kitchens, bathrooms, but he had natural charisma, because he didn't even have to try. He just become the center of attention, just out of the fact he always had stories to say, and just genuine. There is no negative aspect in his head. Even when there was people complaining about a shop being opened by a diverse community next door to the bar, and his view was like, oh, that's great, you know, because I can get a loaf of bread, means I don't have to go all the way at the supermarket, I can get, you know, grab the newspaper in the morning, and he always had the positive spin. And that's what makes him have those abilities. He doesn't tell people he's got great charisma or he's a constant positive. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure if he was dealing with sort of real world issues beyond his sales targets, he would not be the ideal person, because he's not one for the difficult decisions. But my point being is, a lot of the stuff that's out there now is just nonsense. It's not how to approach people, it's not how to be a good person. Being a good person means literally being a good person. You don't have to tell anybody. Oh my god, what is wrong with the world? See, I know I'm blunt, I know I'm very by the book and stuff like that. I've always been like that. But then again, I work in an industry where there's a risk of killing people. I work in an industry where I'm responsible for Joe Public sometimes. So everything I do has an impact, not only on myself, but others. So as such, that's why I'm that way. But as you probably noticed, that's me stating why I'm blunt. And it's not me that says I'm blunt, it's other people tell me I'm very blunt and to the point. Because they either see it as a negative or a positive, but normally those that see it as a negative end up using it at a later point because they realise I'm actually just doing everything by contract or by law or legislation, statutory, mandatory, or just trying not to get people hurt or killed, make sure everyone get home at night. That's it. People say I have a kind face as well, which I find weird because I don't know how somebody has a kind face. I don't understand that one. I don't understand. I don't understand what a kind face is. For me, I'm just me, so I don't really understand that. My bluntness is because of coming from military backgrounds and having family that are discipline orientated, and just being in engineering. But as an individual, you'd have to tell me, because I don't know. I don't even think about it. This is the weird thing. The only reason I know I'm blunt is because people tell me I'm blunt, because, I'll just be to the point. Like when people will go, "Oh, how are you today?" I asked for the request on Friday, you still haven't sent it through. Because the point is, I read that and going, "You're not genuine." You've been on a HR course or something, so I'm not responding to that because it's not real. And it's not me being rude, it's just the fact is I'm not playing the game. We're not playing Facebook thumbs up when there's no thumbs down. It's literally, I just wanted what was done with request on Friday sent over. That's all I asked for. If you want to have a chat, you can phone me up. But not really interested in the false informalities in an email, which is actually a false formal, because if you put it in every email, I think it's the word disingenuous. Yeah. Because it's like when people say, "How's the wife and kids?" I'll say, "Well, what are my kids' names?" Because it's not hostile, by the way. It's just like, if you really want to know, you already know. But if you don't know, don't worry about it. I'm not bothered about it. I'd rather we just, you don't have to be false informal with me. Just be formal, or be informal and actually be interested. But generally, I'm quite a private person anyway. I find a lot of the stuff we're facing today is overreaching. It's too busy trying to poke into your private life. It's like, stay out of that. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, you don't have to promote yourself in that way. I get when people are on a path. So like this with the weight loss and stuff, it's because I'm in my 50s. I'm trying to stress that you can change your weight load. I'm like, what, 10 to 12 kilos down in 2 months, and driving another 10 kilos. I'm going to try and get rid of these next when I'm tired. April hates this, but that's me scrunching my head because I'm looking up. But there's stuff that April uses when I'm sat there. She'll do stuff to me when I'm not looking. So, I'll be sat there like, you just lay on the sofa for 5 minutes and suddenly it's like, what have you just put in my head? But I don't think my skin's looking too bad. I think actually the new regime is actually making me look a little bit healthier. And the weird thing is, I haven't had vegetables for ages. I haven't had vegetables. I'm having vitamins and I'm having mainly meat. But when I say meat, it's not just steak in the sense of, this week what I've had chicken, I've had beef, I've had lamb, I've had haddock. I actually had, what did I have? Was it smoked haddock? Yeah, I had smoked haddock. I've had 2 cod. My diet's changed, but it's more like a very, very simple basic diet. And I'm finding a lot of people say that online, about the basic diets working well. But I also seen somebody's trying to post, "Oh, a carnivore diet will kill you," and all, like, you know what? I'm not interested. Really not interested. I've spent years trying to lose weight naturally, and it's been impossible because of the way people lie in the health and food industry. To put a big context that a lot of you guys won't be aware, in Britain, I think the UK has more processed food than any other country in Europe, maybe in the world, to be fair. That's not a good thing. That's really, really bad. And I see it all the time because I look for like a selection of vegetables. It's limited. Fruit, extremely limited. Freezer stuff, loads of it. Tin stuff, loads of it. Meat products, got to be selective, but there's a reasonable amount of meat. But where's all the decent? See, what annoys me is these supermarkets destroyed all the greengrocers, the butchers, the bakeries, etc. And then they've just replaced it with garbage, utter garbage. So big thumbs up to Lidl and Aldi for actually having more control on its actual marketing and what it's actually selling, because that's why it's successful. If you look at Aldi, by the way, there's a good story about the two brothers that own Aldi, because there's two logos and it's the different brothers, and it's to do with selling, I think, tobacco and alcohol, because one brother didn't want to do it and the other one did. So they end up splitting the business in half. But just show, for me, that's just typical Germans. So simple, down the middle, strategic, and move on. And they still got the two businesses today. Anyway, guys, interesting story, by the way. If you want to look up Aldi. But yeah, are you pro-German, Matt? Yeah, I lived there for a long time when I was a kid. Loved it. Loved Germany. I don't know if I'd love it today. I really don't want to go back to Cologne. From when I went there last time, it was beautiful, wonderful. And I was at the cathedral. You know, when they had all those sexual things that occurred in Cologne, the cathedral's there, and that station's right next door to it. I don't want Germany associated with what's been going on in the country in recent years. It's disappointing. It's banned off here in the UK because you drip fed it in the UK. If I go to Germany, it'd be like going back to your hometown and you've got all those fond memories and just have them ripped out your heart. It's bad enough my childhood was ripped out. What do we have? Oh, we've got Rolf Harris, Jonathan King, Jimmy Savile, Gary Glitter. Welcome to the BBC. Anyway, thanks, guys. As you can see, I'm in quite a good mood today. I'm gonna go and rest my eyes for a bit. Take it easy. Hope you had a good weekend and have a good week. And don't let things bother you. Always try and find the upside. If you can't, if you're skinned and got limited resources, do fitness, because fitness is a cheap date every night. You know, membership at this gym's less than 20 quid, and I go, what's that, twice? So I go up to 60 times a month. I think I'm gonna get my money's worth. I'll probably wear a treadmill out before I finish my membership. Thanks for watching.